cannot be with a black person. You're dating him because he's white. You're dating him for the status.
Well, the first time I met her family was actually the day I paid Lobola.
If he goes and pray when it comes out, everything is fine.
She respects me a lot, more than anyone that I've ever dated.
My fat is your fat.
We actually met on Facebook. I sent a friend request. And then we talked for maybe a month and then we met up.
I was very nervous, because I was like, is he gonna like me or is he not gonna like me? But then I was like, you know what, if he likes me, he likes me. If he doesn't, he doesn't. And before we met, he told me that he was an introvert. When I was with him, he was like the only person who was talking, and I looked at him and I'm like, okay, didn't you say you were an introvert? I even made fun of him, like, hi, my name is Niku. I'm an introvert. So, and also that day we spent the whole day together because he didn't want to leave. We stayed up until 5, and that time he was going to work at 6. That's really
Yeah. It's not my first interracial relationship.
I have dated people of my race. For me, the culture difference is that when I first met up with his family, right, and then his father was explaining to me how they do the weddings. With us black people, it's like, lobola, the guy goes and pay lobola. And with whites, actually, when I used to watch movies, I used to think that the husband and the wife are raised together, But apparently, the boyfriend goes to the dad and then he asks for permission to marry the daughter. If he agrees, then the father pays for the wedding. In terms of my own in-laws, what they do is they like to keep like stuff to give it through to the next generation. We have a coffee table. His father made it when he was in grade 10. The brothers have a pot that the grandfather made. So yeah, I was just like, okay.
For me, it's the whole Lobola thing. It's not as easy as I thought it was, and there's a lot of stress on the day, especially when I went to pay Lobola. There was a lot of stress going on.
The most challenging part was when we just started dating. That was after another interracial relationship that didn't end well, because it was more of like racism and all that. The family was like, you cannot be with a black person. It was like, I was so heartbroken that time. I was so heartbroken. So when I met him, I was like, you know what, he's white. What if the same thing happens again? So he would be like, let's be more serious. Let's post each other. And I was like, I'm not open for that. I don't want to post. And he thought maybe I wasn't serious with him. But for me, it was because I was scared, and he didn't like that. He was also scared at first. I'm not going to lie. He was scared of what his friends were going to think.
Yeah.
It took him 9 months to finally say, to tell his... Actually, some of his friends even found out from his brother-in-law that he's dating a black girl, and then they approached him. They were like, we heard that you're dating a black girl. We just want you to know that it's okay. We support you and all that. And that's when he became more comfortable. So it was kind of hard because I was like, what if maybe the same thing happens? But how we overcame it was that he always told me that, I choose you, and so if anyone really loves him, they're going to support him. If they don't, then they won't support him. And also, no one can just decide that they hate you for no valid reason just because of your race. So if they don't have any reason to say as why they hate you, then it's their own problem. So yeah, we got through it after some time.
Yeah, it was hard for me, I don't know how my friends would react to it. I just eventually told myself that if my friends don't like it, then they weren't really my friends at all, how can you hate a person just because of his wife or his girlfriend or whatever? So I decided if they are my friends, they would accept it. Besides, my family has accepted it. I
think what helps us to overcome challenges, I studied psychology, I'm a counselor, right? But he's my counselor. He's my counselor. So he has this encouraging words. Like, he always knows the right things to say. And he likes to quote like a certain statement that everything works out for the best. If you are to look back at some of the stuff that you were stressed about, it worked out. So I think in most cases, it's more of how he comforts me and how he talks to me. She is basically my counselor. So she counsels me and she tells me everything's going to be fine. And even if it doesn't work, on my way to work, I listen to gospel music. So a lot of times that helps too. I think the biggest asset of our relationship is the fact that we connect a lot. We have the same interest. Like in almost everything actually, which also helps because like we never really get in a serious argument, you know.
Yeah, we like she said, we are so much alike. Not with everything though. I'm the introvert and she talks a lot. But when I'm around her, I talk a lot. In a way, we are the same there also.
There's actually a lot of stuff that makes our relationship valuable, but if there's one thing on my side that I think it could destroy the relationship would be, I think, trust, you know, because we really trust each other. We give ourselves that space to say, you know, you can be vulnerable. We show each other that, you know, we're loyal to one another. So I think if anything can change and we don't communicate as how we communicate or engage as how we do, it would definitely destroy the relationship. What I like the most about him is that when we argue, right, if I'm angry at him in the sitting room, he's gonna disappear, he's gonna go in the room, and guess what? He's praying. I don't know what he thinks of it. He just feels like if he goes and pray, when he comes out, everything is fine. Which I find it very cute, you know, like that's one thing that I really, really love about him, that he always puts prayer first. I never get to a point where, like, you know, I can be angry or I can be filled with so much emotion for more than a day because, you know, he's always there. And he can read when I'm not okay. Before I'm even not okay, he can already tell, just be like, are you okay? What's going on? So I never get to hold in anything that can disturb my peace.
She respects me a lot, like more than anyone that I've ever dated. So I love that a lot. And, you know, she always praises me when my mood is down. And whenever she packs my lunch for me and I don't finish it, she gets angry. So that's nice. I like that. She's always making sure I eat. And obviously she's very beautiful. So
thank you.
What annoys me the most is that whenever we get into bed, right, her hands are ice cold for some reason and her feet. And I'm a heater. I'm supposed to warm her up. She's a little bit of a bully, but yeah, I can handle that.
What annoys me the most about him is that it's like the moment he gets home, he was holding in some farts. He's forever farting. And sometimes it's like he holds it in until we get to the shower.
How?
And the shower is so closed up. And the moment we get there, and he's like, nah, my fat is your fat pussy. So yes, that annoys me a lot because sometimes I'm just like, yo, can't you just go somewhere? I mean, it's okay for him to do it in front of me, but yo, not every second.
And it comes from protein, you know, and she feeds me, so it's basically her fault while I'm farting.
It doesn't happen to me. For me, it's like, you know, it's limited. So what I love about the Afrikaans culture, it's this dance called Suki. Woo, I love it. I love also the thing that I was explaining about them keeping something and then giving it through to someone else. Like, it's nice to hold that memory. Like, we know that even if anything is to happen, we have a coffee table that we're gonna hold on and we might even pass it through to someone. And also with them, when they get married, right? They keep a bottle of wine. You don't open it at all. But my father-in-law said you only open it when you give birth to a child, and then you take a lid and then you pour just a little bit on the lid, and then you wash their head with it. It's like a blessing, and then you put it back again. And I love the unity, man.
What I love most about the Venda culture, well, I'm not sure if it's the Venda culture or just a family, but they are very spiritual. I've actually learned a lot from her, from spiritual, and her father's very wise. So I've learned a lot from my father also. My father was walking around there with no shoes, and she was trying to make sure he's wearing pluckies or something.
Like his father goes, so he's like, you know what? He went inside the room after when we were praying. He was also wearing a shirt. He asked my father, can I remove the shirt? I was like, okay. Ever since I met my father-in-law, he doesn't wear shirt. He's always wearing shoes. So he went in and then he went to remove the shirt. When he came, I was like, yeah, now I'm at home. You know, he's not even wearing shoes. You see, now I'm at home. You know, she never saw me with a shirt. When I came here, I was sweating. Hey?
My best friend, when I used to grow up, he was black. And we used to hang around black people. So it wasn't really a big thing. I've heard of it before. But I didn't know it was such a Yindala. I don't know, you know, you have to pay la bola before you got to move in and all that stuff. So that got to me the most.
But I think it was though, because when they were coming for the lobola, they were busy searching how much is lobola. How do you do lobola?
There's
And
very-
They were scaring themselves with internet, and you know internet. You can search, you are coughing, and then they say you're dying tomorrow. I think that the internet is what got them more nervous.
We didn't want to feel like we're disrespecting, you know. We're not greeting in the right way, so now we're disrespecting the parents. We didn't really want it.
Yeah, they came prepared. They literally did everything the way that we do it, but they did literally everything in the cultural way, which was nice. For me, on my side, there's this thing that people thought that actually mostly blacks. They'll be like, you're dating him because he's white. You're dating him for the status of being with a white person and all that. And people just don't know that. It's the same thing as being with like any other culture. It's just the skin. We've been through like a lot of things. I have. So everything that he has, we started it like all together. So if I wanted to benefit anything from him, I wasn't gonna be with him.
Apparently, right, a lot of black people think white people, we don't eat pap.
Exactly.
We eat rice and stuff. So at work also, there was a time a lot where I bought pap and beef stew or pap and chicken from a lady outside of work. And they were so surprised seeing me buying pap. And then a few months later, another white guy came with me. I introduced him to the lady's food. And they were so surprised that they thought I taught them how to eat pap. And we even make
the one that's
we make
fried.
pap tart.
It's mixed up with everything. It has meat, it has carrots,
Yeah,
it has
you
onion,
actually-
it has
you make
everything,
it-
and then you braai it like you're baking.
You make it in the
It's just-
oven. There's cheese, there's pap, there's like a...
I've
It's
never
nice.
tasted it, but
It's very nice.
it just sounds weird for me.
We found a way to add luxury to pap.
How can you add cheese on pap though?
It's very nice.
Imagine the pap going.